What
let's
about
just
Crash
get going.
Bandicoot 4?
What? Why the f is Crocky on?
Uh,
I'm just looking through the Steam library right now.
yeah.
Like, I
Oh
don't know.
yeah.
Sam
Actually,
owns.
I know why he's been talking about Crash Bandicoot 4 or Crash Bandicoot in general. He's like, man, I remember it was from my childhood and I was happy. And I'm like, okay, please no trauma dumping in the work truck.
How dare you
It's
tell
just funny
Sam not
because
to
I have
trauma
to pick
dump?
out which of these games are my games and which of these games are Cronky's games.
Yeah, Cronky, Sam, you buy a lot of games that you don't play, and you also won't play any games with me.
So basically, the podcast opens with Sam slander.
Yeah,
Chill.
that's okay though. But yeah, welcome to Basement CRT episode 28. I can't believe we made it this far.
It's impressive. I actually thought that at some point.
You're lying to you.
Through thick and thin, we've made it this far. Half a year anniversary. Congratulations. I don't even know if the clapping picked up on the mic.
You're gonna turn us into pirate software, bro. So where did episodes 3 through 27 go?
The difference between us and Pirate Software is that we won't get into unnecessary drama for no reason.
I feel like that could be false, but we'll let the future decide.
Okay, let's pretend like we won't.
Let's pretend that we're all
Pretend like we won't.
not gonna go to jail.
Yes, sir.
Actually, I know we've talked about this in the past, but who do we think's going to jail first?
Like in the group?
Yeah.
I still don't fully know, but I think Sam has always had high odds, in my opinion.
I 100% agree.
I think he's the most likely to completely and utterly crash out.
I think it'll be accidental.
Like he'll kill someone with his
okay.
with his hands.
Yeah, that's definitely. I was thinking like he goes out downtown, and then like he's drunk, and these other people are drunk, and then one of them like, I don't know, pushes Connor or something, and then Sam pushes the guy, and it was unfortunately there was a bridge behind him that he got pushed off of.
Oh, well, yeah, that'd be the way it would go.
Yeah. And then like I don't know why he'd even be charged. It's like your honor, it was an accident. I don't really know how the legal system works though.
I don't. I feel like if you killed someone by accident, it's still killing someone. That's why manslaughter exists. That's what his charge would be.
What if you
What if you say, "Officer, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to."
Officer, we can both go home tonight.
Jaxon
Judge,
dies.
my client pleads no.
And that's
Judge,
Your Honor,
respect, you weren't even there.
Yeah. How could you know, Your Honor? Honor, I can tell that your Jordans are fake. The highest crime.
The cop is like, "Oh, you got me."
But yeah, oh yeah, something by the way that Carter said is he's like, yeah, you guys don't stay on topic very well. And I'm like, yeah, it's kind of funny though. So anyway, our topic today is Caden's Westmarch. And to start off with that topic, we have a story from playing CS2 last night. Just
Banger, by
just
the
for
way.
you.
Just you guys really don't stay on topic too well. Yeah, so our topic today is this, and to start us off, have something completely different.
Yeah, it's the Carter special, just for him. But yeah, we were
Yeah,
playing Counter-Strike 2 last night. I believe it was myself, Caden.
Wasn't this 2 nights ago at this point?
That's right. It was definitely 2 nights
Because
ago.
you did it when we were raiding.
Yeah. It
2
was
nights ago.
me, Caden, Carter, Lance, and Alex. And if you don't know, we're awful at Counter-Strike. But we're playing, having a good time. And I think Caden did something stupid. So, as a silly little joke, I just doxed him in the chat.
it happens
As a silly little joke.
pretty often, actually.
I'm going to have to beep this out, but all I typed was, Caden lives in, which, in my opinion, it wasn't really too revealing. And then the guy on the other team goes, "Do you mean or?" And then our good friend Alex types out,
Dude,
uh,
I
You're gonna
just
have to beep that out too.
"Yep."
I just realized how much fun you're gonna have editing this one.
It's gonna be
But
fun to listen to, I think. But I don't even. How did it go from there? Did it? Was it just
well,
like?
we found out that he went to school in the same city as we did. And he didn't make that up. Because it's like, oh, you could have called him out for lying, but then you looked at his Steam and like, he had as his place.
Yeah, and then he started like answering questions a little too fast for someone to just look it up. So
Yeah.
that was pretty funny. We then proceeded to just kind of have a for fun match. I think my computer crashed halfway through,
Yep.
and then
Uh,
our good friend Alex, being the saint he is, just typed out my full name. So I actually got doxxed because my full name can lead back to me. But for anyone listening that might try to find me, I have an unregistered firearm in Minecraft hiding in my bedroom.
it's true. I've seen it.
Dude, I've seen.
I don't think you know what unregistered firearms are because your firearm is definitely registered.
No. Don't tell them. For all they know, it's unregistered.
Bro's sitting there committing several felonies. He's sitting there with a mail file, just scribbling off the serial number and shit.
But what you don't understand, I said in Minecraft. When the judge looks at that, what are they gonna be able to do?
I'm gonna tell on you.
No. But
I'm
anyway,
telling you,
so yeah, that
Your
was.
Honor, his is lying.
uh, but yeah, that was the one time I doxed Caden, and it actually led to something funny. Because normally, Caden just sends me death threats afterwards.
I did kind of start sweating during that one though, because you guys started revealing progressively more and more information to this dude,
Yeah. Actually,
and I
and
was
then
like,
yeah, and then that's when Alex just typed my full name, so then I just typed his full name. But
and
yeah,
then the enemy team was like, "Oh, you guys really like doxing each other," and here we are, like, "Yeah, that's kind of the bit.
yeah,
Um,
and then
maybe not the healthiest bit, but I
and
think
then
it's
and then
hilarious."
Connor going, bro, if Caden gets doxed, I get doxed. I'm like, yeah,
That's
it's
the
fine.
point,
It's a
Bucko.
2v1 at that point. That guy's expecting just Caden, but when he walks in the house and it's Caden and Connor,
Well,
And
Field will be
Field.
there too,
oh
right?
yeah, and Field. And by the way, Connor can bench 225, just in case,
Yeah,
like, the people don't know.
yeah, dude, Connor's big.
Yeah, he's like huge. He's so huge for a 5'3" guy.
Damn.
That was just random Connor slander. I'm sorry, Connor. Please don't hurt me. So, Caden. Oh, I'm gonna have to beep that one. uh, that one was unintentional.
Awesome.
I, I Jaxon am not taking part of this Westmarch, and I do not play very much D&D. Can you explain to me what this thing is?
So we had a D&D group of 7 people, right? That's very well known. We have the quote unquote core group, which has played together for 7 years or more. I think it's almost 8. I might be a year or two. I might be a year off, give or take. It's just been a long time. And in the last like 3 years, I have continually had people come up to me and say, "Hey, we want to play D&D. We wanted to know what this is about. We want to try this." And Baldur's Gate did not make that better. Baldur's Gate made it much worse with more and more people. And eventually, I had like a personal kind of breaking point where I was like, I want these people to play. Like, I want to show these people the game, but I'm already playing in the game. What can I do? Because you can, on one hand, put together another group of 7, and then like you're running a game for brand new players, and that is either the most fun you'll ever have in your life or a complete disaster because you have no idea who you're playing with. right? Or I could try something new and put together kind of a lower commitment kind of game where people can play pretty much whenever they want. And that's when I found out about the idea of a Westmarch, which is actually like it's a pretty real thing in D&D communities, which is a D&D game that is a bunch of different characters or people playing in the same world at a central location, and every session is just a different story in that area. And I was like, well, that'd be fun, right? It's any week you could have a different group of people, different group of things, different story. And adventures are loosely tied together, and rumors start to spread and stuff like that. It's basically like a MMO D&D game. And I put it all together, and I was like, this is gonna be fun. And pretty much nonstop since I decided to do it, I've had to run 2 to 3 sessions a week while playing in one. So it's been a lot of D&D, even to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm playing way more than I probably intended to, but I'm not about to stop because it's like everyone's having fun and I'm having fun doing it. So there's no reason to stop other than the hard cutoff of January or December when the game will actually come to an end. So basically, I just wanted to give as many people the D&D experience as possible, and that led to me making this very big, broad game where we actually have, I think right now, 13 or 14 people playing. With any given week being, 4 people, 5 people. I've ran 6 a few times. But Rob has had the pleasure of playing in a few of these games, and he has had the pleasure of seeing probably more than anyone that it's a D&D trial ground for me. I get to because it's a bunch of new people and because it's low commitment for me, I get to use any idea that I've ever had that I didn't put into a campaign, and I can just kind of use it here. And that has led
I was
to
running the Night Rain campaign.
pretty much, man. It's led to me doing some stuff I'd never do in normal D&D, like disintegrating Connor's character. Because
Like he's
usually
just
in
gone?
D&D, yeah, he died. He got rezzed
That's like
by.
worse than a building falling on him.
No, it was actually really funny because that was a session that obviously Rob wasn't at. I was the only one there, but they stole an item from like an ancient temple, and it started to collapse and fall apart, and they had to escape while getting attacked by ghosts. And the ghosts really f***ed them up in a bad way. Like they were not winning the fight, and they started to run. And on the way out, there was like a platforming segment where below the platforms was a disintegration field. It was like a trap from earlier that they had gotten by. And Connor is a wizard. Connor had no teleportation of any kind. So he had to jump 3 gaps with his, wizard stats for physical stuff. And he failed like 3 rolls, and his character just fell into the field of disintegration and died instantly. And everyone at the table was losing their shit. And Connor, God bless his soul, he was sitting there, and they're like, can we do anything to help you? And Connor looks at them all with the biggest smile on his face and just goes, nope, I'm dead.
That's beautiful.
And I also killed Sam, and I killed Rob, and I killed a few other
I was gonna
people.
ask. So you said you have 14 players. How many deaths have happened, and how many have been permanent?
So this is the fun part. I have been totaling that. I've actually been tracking that in a Google Doc. Because when all of this is over, when the whole Westmarch is done, I actually want to go through everyone who died and talk about it. Because Sam lost his character, Denson the Sorcerer. God bless his soul. He got killed by a black pudding, which is just a black ooze that every time you hit it with a sword, it splits into another ooze.
So
And Hunter hit it like 8 times.
is this
They
an
got
animate
overwhelmed.
object or is this an inanimate object?
It's an ooze. It's like a goop monster.
So
It's
Sam,
literally just
but it's a monster.
yeah, it's a
Oh,
monster.
I was gonna
It's
roast
like
Sam, being like he died to mud.
it's an oversized amoeba and it killed him. That was a permanent one for a while. Currently, every character has been brought back, but there was a big fun thing that happened to do that. But Sam died permanently by the ooze, and Connor died permanently by the disintegration field. Both of them got brought back because Laura and Sam on his second character made
Wait,
a deal with a hag to bring them back to life,
so
and
Sam
that had
just has
consequences
Sam just has 2 characters now?
that he can play interchangeably. Yeah,
That's crazy.
he only ever plays the one, which is his backup, who's now a barbarian. He went from a sorcerer to a barbarian. He learned his lesson.
Yeah,
But
I've played D&D slash Baldur's Gate only 3 times now, and I've realized I will never play a Magic Twink.
casters are awesome because they have
No.
a lot of versatility, dude. But
Who needs versatility when I can brute strength everything?
let's actually get to the brute strengthers that died. Peyton, who's playing a little fencing character named Lucius, God bless his soul, got hit 5 times by a troll and killed on the 3rd attack. Or the troll hit him 3 times. He died on the 2nd. The 3rd attack was on his dead body. He got brought back to life though. He got better. Condor, Chris's character, God bless his soul, got killed by an instant death curse.
Did he try dodging?
Also, he certainly tried. He died, got brought back, and that was scary. And then Rob got an axe slammed into his abdomen and almost got cut in half while fighting
Yep.
a chieftain of a foreign tribe in a strength contest.
First time I'm getting attacked in the whole encounter, and then I just see Caden roll the dice and look up at me, and I'm just hit me with it, dog. You just
That's
whatever
a
it
nat.
is. Just
I was a nat 20, and for those of you who have never played D&D or don't know what a nat 20 means, in D&D you roll a 20-sided dice to determine every action, and a 20 means you did crit. You crit them. You did the best you could do. What that means for an attack is that you roll double damage. Now, this would not have been an issue normally, but Rob had pretty
slightly
low health.
underleveled.
Yeah, because the Westmarch is very varied. One player might be level 10 while the other's level 7. And in Rob's case, the area they were in was a little higher level, so it was a little more challenging. And the crit happened, and Rob took enough damage to die instantly. It's like
Just straight outright done.
death.
So
Yep.
axe to the abdomen?
Yeah, so
Yep.
I think what exactly happened is I described it as the chieftain slammed the axe into his stomach, lift him up, and then slammed him onto the ground with the axe, almost cutting him in half.
Okay, but did it hurt?
I don't know how much pain he actually would have felt. It probably would have been one sharp pain, and then it would have been over. You were dead by the time you hit the ground.
Oh my gosh.
I'm a robot though, so it's like,
Yeah.
I don't think it would be a real dick move if the Culture Guild programmed me with pain receptors.
They're
That
just
would
like
be a
for no
real
reason
dick move.
for no reason whatsoever. They're just like, wow,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to feel pain, buddy.
Well, we did establish, like, I actually did openly look at you and said you had an afterlife. You saw what the other side looked like.
A
So, do you
robot?
have a soul? Yeah, does he have a soul?
Sure, but just because you have a soul doesn't imply that you feel pain.
That is true. We have yet to
Yeah.
actually discern that. There are some ways we can get that out of you, though.
So is Rob's character currently
What,
dead?
what do you
or
mean by
was he
that?
revived?
No, I was revived right after the battle. Laura got me,
Oh.
Yep.
and
so
so I've been I've been back.
So it sounds like
Death.
Laura has been reviving a lot of people.
Yep. Laura is a druid, and
So
she has
you guys owe her.
resurrection and stuff. She has saved a lot of people. So is Runya. Runya is playing Miguel, the cleric. And now Megan is also playing a cleric. So they have multiple support characters that can actually like help out
Caden,
and bring people back.
are we just referring to him as Runya now? Or do I have to beep that out too?
Other Caden, you can beat that.
Okay.
That's what we all call him to avoid confusion.
Yeah.
Other Caden. There we go.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Runya,
bleep
I'm
that
not
out,
beeping
please.
these ones out. Your name's just out there. I'm kidding.
But no, then no one has actually been dead ever since the Hag deal. Because the Hag deal happened and Sam and Laura both sacrificed stuff to have that deal happen. Completely forgot that Sam had some consequences he had to face in the last session. Oops.
So out of curiosity, do you think there will be a permanent death? Maybe
There
that's
still
spoiler
can.
Yeah,
territory.
yes, there still can be.
There's Connors
So
already.
yeah, well, those
Oh.
they got brought back. Connor got brought back by a Hag deal too, because Laura made
Oh,
the
I
deal
didn't.
for
Oh,
Connor's
okay.
soul. Sam made the Hag deal for his own character's soul. Here's the thing about D&D. Death is weird because death is a problem from levels 1 to 5. Then it's not really a problem anymore until levels like 15 to 20. Because eventually, you start to fight enemies whose whole gimmick is, oh, when they kill you, they eat your soul instantly and you can't be brought back. Like, that's an actual thing that just happens.
So what if my character is soulless?
Well, then it depends on why you're soulless. Like, maybe you made a deal with a warlock and your soul's already claimed, and
What if I'm just
then,
dead inside?
damn, that's a terrible existence for you. I didn't make a deal to lose my soul. I'm just dead inside.
I'm just sad.
But no, I kind of get to let loose and throw out some crazy stuff because everyone knows the danger levels, everyone's used to it. Like the curse that killed Chris, how that worked was everybody entered a room and there was like a dark ritual going on. And there were like 3 skeleton like mages who were doing a dark ritual. And everybody had to make a charisma save, and Peyton and Chris failed. And I just said, well, you guys, I looked at them and all I said is, you have the curse of the dead hand. And they were like, what does that mean? I was like, you'll find out. Because then combat started, and every turn of combat, they would have to make another charisma save. And if they failed, they just died. There's no like damage. I just looked at them and said, your character's dead. You die instantly as this curse takes your life. And Peyton was passing his saves. Chris passed his first one, and then when his second turn came around, he failed. And he died. And everyone was like, man, that's actually insane, because if they had all failed that first save, then they all would have had to make the second one, which means technically they all could have gotten wiped in that fight. Like if they all failed the save twice, I could have just killed them all instantly and there would have been nothing they could have done other than not fail those 2 saves. But it's the Westmarch. It's that's the way it is. There's some crazy stuff that happens. Characters are disposable because it's so easy to bring a new one,
So in general,
All you basically
keep going.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say, like, all you have to do if your character dies is be like, I bring their brother. That's what Sam did. Sam's character died.
I bring
He's
my
like,
twin.
it's not his twin. He said my half brother, who's actually a half orc, because my dad was sleep. My dad or my mom or something.
Well, that's what I was gonna do if I died in our miniature Elden Ring campaign. I was a little jar, and if I died, I was gonna be like, "Yeah, I'm the jar's twin brother."
And the funny thing
what was my
is,
jar's name?
Antigonus.
Antigonus.
It was
I was gonna
Antigonus.
change like 2 letters. It was gonna be same class and everything.
He's gonna
No,
be
that's
Antigonus.
Antigonus. Oh yes,
no,
I'm Antigonus.
it was really funny though, because Rob went from like a very standard first session of the Westmarch. Because I remember his first session was just exploring a cave and trying to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, we
And
found
they
a
fought
we
it.
found a weird guy in it. I don't know whatever happened to him.
Oh, so he actually is still hanging around. I just don't think you have not seen him in a session. Currently,
No,
he
I'm
goes on
not.
expeditions on his own to scout out and figure out who he used to be. He has amnesia. He started to figure some stuff out. But yeah, that's an example of me having to improvise and do like that. Because another fun thing about the Westmarch is I don't always plan everything out every session, because sometimes the session is approaching and I'm like, oh, I have to finish this up. So for that one, an example was like, there's some basilisks in the cave, and basilisks can turn things to stone. So to set the scene, I described some stone, like petrified rats and like monsters. And I kind of was like, yeah, and there's a petrified elf whose arm is missing. Because a big part of this game is like, it was like an elvish civilization that was abandoned, and they want to try and figure out what happened to it. That's the big mystery. And what happened was when the fight was over, Laura went over and casted Greater Restoration on the statue, which unpetrifies them. And in that moment, I was like, this dude has been petrified for thousands, like hundreds of years, basically, and now he's going to come out. What am I going to do? I did not have plans for that.
Oh.
No. So I had to bring him back, and he was freaking out, and I, on the spot, decided that he had retrograde amnesia, because I didn't really want to give away too much. I wanted to kind of control the flow of information.
Mm-hmm.
And while they were like joking and talking about the situation, I had Google open and I was looking up like how temporary is temporary. Yeah. So, because Runya's other Caden, sorry, is a nurse,
Bro.
so he's gonna know that. Shit. He's just gonna know. So I was like, oh, it's this amnesia, and I think it's an amnesia that lasts like 2 weeks, at most. And he did not question it. He was like, oh, that sounds about right. And a bead of sweat dripping down my face, just went, yeah, that's great. Anyways, the elf is gonna stay behind because I didn't have stats for him. And they go deeper. They fight some more monsters. They come out. It was a fun session. But then the next session Rob got in was like a week ago, and it was like 4 levels later, and it's a champions challenge for this tribe that they are trying to ally themselves with. And and God bless Borrow's soul, which is Rob's character name. He got very unlucky.
Insta-gibbed.
Yep.
Destroyed.
And then the week after that, he went to another game where he fought a lich and a massive demon. And that fight was funny because Rob was just chilling out, and I looked at Chris and said, the demon whips you and sends you to hell. You're in hell now.
I wanted to be such a dick to Chris during that session because his character beforehand was just like, well, who are you? Like, how do I know you're good? And then I did the final blow to both of those monsters, and I wanted to be like, yeah, is that good enough for you, bitch?
Yeah, dude, it was okay. What was really funny is me looking at the stat block of the demon, which is called a Baelor. It's basically the Balrog from Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
And I see that it has an ability called Death something. And I was like, huh. It was like Death Rain or something like that. Basically, the moment it died, it exploded, and it could do when it exploded, it did 20 d6 damage. That is 26-sided die. That is a maximum damage of 120 damage, which at their level would have probably killed multiple of them. Like all of them would have been dropped to 0. But I was sitting there looking at that ability, and everybody was just in the arena. Everyone's at like half health, and I'm like, this might wipe them. So Rob kills it with a shatter spell, and I start describing it. I'm like, I'm sorry, Rob, but I think you might die again. Like, you might get the killing blow and then die.
it'd have been mad funny if I did though.
It's another example though of me in the moment being really anxious because I'm like, I'm not trying to kill everybody. I'm trying to maintain though, like the game's reputation of kind of having that like classic D&D, like, oh, it's really dangerous, but also really fair feel. Like,
yeah. You're not trying to
a lot
be
of
evil and just get everyone killed?
No, I'm not, but I'm trying to be challenging. I'm trying to run some very hard stuff to make them think and use their brains. And I'm nice to the new players, but you know what I also should have been counting for the Westmarch is the amount of people who have said "F you" to me, because it's a joke where I'll look at them and be like, "Hey, I'm sorry about that. Like that sucks that your character just took like 80 damage." Like,
I feel like
you, dude.
just from previous experiences, it has to be Cameron.
I think I can count the people that have said it. It is for sure Cameron, Laura, I think Sam, I think
That makes
Peyton,
sense.
I could have sworn I got one from other Caden. I'm working through the process, but it's just like I'll do some heinous. Like I think with with other Caden, he tried to heal Chris and I counterspelled it.
That's diabolical.
It is. It is absolutely diabolical because it's just healing. I also counterspelled one of Laura's resurrection attempts. She tried to resurrect someone in the middle of a fight, and they tried to counterspell it.
You're just evil.
Well, that's the point. The point is it's limit testing, right? It's me getting better at DMing, and
So what I'm hearing is you started a new campaign to see what you can get away with.
yes, and to expose as many people to D&D as possible. So it has been me limit testing while also like basically running plot threads that I had ideas in the past for, but I never like was able to incorporate into a real game.
Mm-hmm.
So I've taken like all the ideas and recycled stuff that I was never able to run that I had notes for, and I kind of put it into this game to minimize my planning. Because obviously, if you're running like 3 times a week, there's a lot of planning that has to go into it.
Yeah. So I do have
But
a.
even then,
I guess when you're
I
done, I have a few questions about a couple things.
sure. I was about to. All I was gonna say is I still get caught off guard by stuff. Like other Caden bought a boat. Like a session, he was like, "I buy a boat and I want to sail." I'm like, "Oh well, I never had plans to do anything like that, but here I am on Sunday running a boat session." Um,
So yeah, I guess like I said, I have a few questions out of my curiosity and maybe some people listening. Um, so does the Westmarch have an overarching story? And if you can't delve into it because of spoilers, understandable.
mhm. So the answer to that is yes, and it's a more yes than you might think. The Westmarch has story arcs that are going on, and then people kind of dip in and out of them at random, and sometimes people who have no idea what's going on are exposed to a story arc randomly.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first story arc of the game was the Grimroot Forest, which is what I called it, which was just a big wood that had a bunch of goblins in it. And as people went into the woods to explore it, they found out that the goblins were working under a troll king, who had like corrupted the forest with the help of a hag. And they were like, "Well, that's not good. So let's stop this guy." And they started messing around in the forest and going and killing goblin camps and getting treasure and loot and classic D&D stuff.
And out of
And then
curiosity, all of your player characters, they're like arrived on this island.
yep, it's a new continent. The story of the game is that there was this adventure like exploration scouting guild that found an abandoned library below the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And in that library, there was a map of the world that included a continent that they didn't know existed. So a bunch of people traveled to this new continent to try and, like, you know, the same thing that basically happened to America. Just find this new world and start fresh and get a new life. So all the characters, all the adventurers are basically people looking for that gold rush. They've come to
Yeah,
get treasure or explore culture or make a name for themselves in a new
yeah.
world.
So I'm glad you actually made that comparison because my next question is: are the players conquering the land of the goblins, or are they stealing it? In your,
They
in
killed
your,
all of them.
oh,
All of the goblins are dead except for like some fled. Some goblins did get away, but
and your
basically,
player characters you would say are the good guys.
yeah. So here's what
Interesting.
you gotta know about the goblins. In the lore, they learned that the goblins were kind of destroying the forest natural order. They met a fairy dragon who hated the goblins because the goblins would constantly destroy his house and mess with his stuff. And there were no animals in the forest because like this dark magic was choking the life out of it. So they were kind of like, well, we're gonna stop this because this feels wrong. And they were right to do so because the Goblin King was a bad person and the goblins were bad people. And I did that, first of all, to make it easier because these are new players. I don't know how ready they are for gray stories of like, oh, the goblins aren't actually that bad. Like, no, these are monsters. The goblins were kind of suicidal to a point where they'd be like, for the king, and they'd run and die. Like they were crazy.
Mhm.
But eventually the Troll King actually attacked the village, and I ran a big session. I remember you gave me a lot of crap for it because it was the 2 sessions in one day.
Mhm.
But it was a raid.
Wild work.
Yeah, I was crazy, by the way, because what I was doing is I was running it where the village was getting attacked, and they had to defend it from these goblins. And it was 2 different defense groups that I ran so everybody could experience it. And the only reason that happened is because people were messing with the goblins. So, like, that's a story that's going on in the background. Or right now, Rob has kind of stepped into a story because in the desert region, which is to the southwest, there's a blue dragon that is basically terrorizing the tribes of that region and forcing them to fight each other for it. And they're all coming to try and unify these tribes against the dragon. And Rob helped get one of the tribes on their side. And now, pretty soon, I don't know when, but they're going to try and go kill that dragon. And that's going to be another big session where everybody can come play. There's basically some sessions where I'm like, I'm not going to cap the player count. If I have 12 people come into this one, that's the way it's going to be.
Mhm.
Which is
That was gonna be one of my next questions. Is in general, how many people do you allow per session, and how many actually show up?
4 to 5 per session. And we've had some, they're not issues. It's just something that happens where the same people show up to a lot of sessions. Like you see Laura and Sam for a while, but like Laura, Sam, Chris, Hunter, Caden, yeah, other Caden. Those are people you'll see commonly. The uncommon arrivals is kind of like Rob, Megan, uh, like people that don't always play as often.
Mhm.
Um, and usually I just have a random group of 4 to 5, and whoever comes to it comes to it. I should also specify that I don't plan these sessions out. A big part of the Westmarch is that the players tell me when they are feeling like playing and what they want to do. So they'll be like, oh, this week, let's just go. At any point, they could be like, let's just go as far west as possible. It's called the Westmarch, right? Let's just go west. And I would have to run a session where they explore into the unknown. Because whatever they want, I have to run, and that has gotten me much better at improv too, and trying to like come up with like what they might find and what they might fight. But no, there is an overall story, and they've kind of been put on the threads of it because there's a greater evil that is dwelling, that they are starting to become aware of, that might be awakening at some point.
And
That's
then
kind of the current big thing.
my next question to bounce off of that is, let's say goblin attacks city, blah blah blah, right? But Rob's not at those sessions. Do you let him know, or does he jump into the next session and one of the players has to tell him, "Oh yeah, we got ransacked or something"? How does that work? How
So
does I
I
guess
kind
how
of
does
find out as
information?
information becomes relevant, at least in my
mhm.
case.
Yeah.
For the people who are really into it, we do this thing called adventure logs, where when a session ends, I encourage the players to go and post about it in the logs.
Hmm.
And if they post about it, they get inspiration for the next session, which inspiration is the ability to reroll a dice whenever you want. Um, so if you are really into the game, like I know Laura's really into the game, and other Caden are really into the game, they will go to those adventure logs when they're not at a session, and they'll actually read through like what the other players did and what they saw. So some people know more than others because they go and read those. Other people are made aware as time comes.
Hmm.
Like Rob will be made aware, like in a given session, if something is happening that's relevant, he'll be like, "Oh, this is a thing that happened in the past." And it's like, "Oh, okay."
Hmm.
Yeah.
Um.
Excuse me, dying in the back. Oh my gosh. You ever just choke on your own spit?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my
I do it
gosh.
often. I do it because of workout coughs.
Oh man. No, yeah. I mean I kind of just show up to insert myself into whatever was going on, going, okay, there's going to be a social encounter and a combat encounter. And I like trying those things out. So,
So
Hmm.
yeah,
And
I have a couple more questions. So I don't
sure.
want to like I guess one of them is gonna be probably should have been asked a while ago, but like Rob, can you just give us a small breakdown of what your character is? I've heard bits and pieces now, but I'm just curious.
so and you asked a bad question and a bad time to ask this question. I'm choking, um, my character started off. Um, I'm not good at like conceptualizing character ideas,
Uh huh.
but when it comes to playable races, I've most of the one shots and stuff I've been to, I've been playing Warforged, just because robots are cool.
Hmm.
Simply the only answer that I have for that. So, played Warforged, played Bard in our last big Baldur's Gate campaign. So I played a Warforged Bard, and the whole backstory that I wrote up as to why he was there was that he was there to study culture
Hmm.
and different things. So that's really all there is to him. He's not super deep. I kind of am playing with the little aspects of it because I'm not super big in like um improv acting in character
Yeah.
because my like I've just I'll be totally honest. I haven't developed the character enough to the point where I can go, okay, well, these are the like defining character traits I need to act by and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's robot, right? So there's so many different ways. So I've kind of been taking some time to try out like different ideas for different things. Like
Hmm.
when I when I took an axe to my gut, I used that as like I kind of wanted to try out like the HK-47 speech pattern from Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
I wanted to try that out, so I was just like, okay, well, I've just took a huge axe to my gut. I can write in specifically that some like my language, my natural language uh, part was damaged, and now I talk a little bit more staccato and matter of factly.
Hmm.
So for me it's an experiment thing too, like because I hit up Caden before and I was like another thing because I thought about doing it a second character to try some other stuff out too,
Hmm.
because Artificer has been denied to me, or not specifically denied, but uh, I I was denied of Artificer once 8 years ago, and I've never gone back. I was talking with Sam on the way home, and I was just like, maybe I should do what you did and like get a second character and like try out Artificer since I haven't. So
What was his
that's
name again? Or your character?
so the character's name technically is like Borrow. Um I didn't put a whole lot of thought into the name other than when you write it out, it kind of looks like Bard in Leet speech. So I kind of thought that and then tried to retroactively write some bullshit lore reason in, but I'm gonna be honest, it's not like a great excuse. But
It's
Yeah.
yeah, it's his model is B4RO and everybody or zero
yeah,
and everybody
it was
calls
like
him
Bard 4 revision 0 is what I think the large
Oh.
thing for it was.
I actually think that's
Um
so cool though. Like
uh-huh.
that's
And I thought it
really
was really
funny.
funny too because if my character ever died, I would increase the digit at the end by 1 and I would go from borrow to bury. So
That's your backup.
Yeah. He took the twin thing or the brother thing and made it somehow funnier.
well, it's so much easier with like, here's the thing with the setup that I kind of got and the setup that Caden kind of added on with that. It's so much easier to write in a replacement character because my character by definition is pretty much replaceable.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
if I blow up, like here's the next one. you know?
But maybe a near death experience or an actual death experience, maybe it'll make him realize the importance of life.
We also joked about making him like Connor from Detroit Become Human, where he slowly develops like human characteristics, and then when he dies, it's a hard reset to being a robot again.
Uh,
Just does like a joke.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I've
fun little
got
things like that.
yeah, that's funny. Um, I've got one more question before I'll just let you keep talking. And again, if you can't say, that's totally fine. But all of your new adventurers, what what percentage of them do you think are there to be overall good? And what
Oh,
percentage of them do you think are there to not necessarily be bad, but maybe they're there to only further benefit themselves?
Hunter's
here's the
definitely there for his own
yeah.
good.
So it's really
If you
funny
told me to
because
100.
guess one, it would have been
10%.
Hunter.
so from what I know, Hunter's character isn't as bad as you'd think. He has definitely got self-serving stuff going on.
Oh, yeah, he's self-serving. He's not, poisoning
He's
an
not
entire
evil.
generation to sell them an elixir as a cure type evil, but like
Yeah,
he's
he's definitely
definitely like, hey, how do I profit from this?
Hunter.
And of course Cronky's playing the characters that run the bank, so they're evil just by definition. So
Yeah, so Hunter told me going into it that he wanted to play a realistic noble, which means
Oh.
he's very like, oh, I love the community, I love people, but I'm also very focused on me and like furthering my own self and benefits. Um, Gosh, that's a good question. Because I'd say that a lot of the characters who are good, like, and in it for the community, vastly outmeasure the ones that aren't. And the ones that are kind of bad have some nuance to them. Like, I would say the characters that are the worst in terms of self serving nature, based on what I've seen personally, like in play, is
Oh, you're
Chris's character's very, like, self serving,
oh,
right?
you're just name them. You're calling them out for everyone else to hear.
Well, some of them are already aware of it. Like they've already seen it going on
Oh.
in the game. Chris's character is self-serving, and Hunter's character is kind of self-serving. And from those two, I think those are maybe like I'm trying to look. I want to see if I can find my Discord's weird right now, but I want to see Connor's character is purely neutral. Cameron's character is on the good side of things. Sam's character is neutral to the bad side, I'd say. Like he
Mhm.
wants to help the community, but he's very self-serving, kind of like Hunter's.
he runs the
Um,
banks, brother. That's all
he
he
does.
needs to know.
Well, what happened is his first character was more on the evil side because his first character was like, I want to run the town. Like he wanted to become the mayor, and his first character died. His second character came back as that character's brother, who did not have the same goals, but was gonna go through with it for his brother. Because like, oh, my brother died. I want to fulfill his wishes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's kind of changed though because he brought his brother back. So now he's just kind of like a big kind of hired mercenary. Sam's character is kind of on the neutral end. I'd say we're overwhelmingly neutral with quite a few good outliers and only a few are self-serving.
Mhm.
Although the thing is like the characters that are on the bad side are at the end of the day the heroes still because they're like helping the town, like they contribute to the town,
For
they
now.
help out. Oh yeah. Well, that's
You
actually,
can't.
funnily enough, one of the one rules that I set up in character creation is you cannot be against the town. You cannot
Yeah.
create a character whose goal is to destroy the town.
That's what made me not
Main.
join.
Oh yeah, because you were gonna bring Mega Hitler.
No. I
I'm pretty sure you said that verbatim when we were
okay.
first talking about it,
Well, I
like
mean,
verbatim.
I don't think I would have said Hitler,
No,
Maybe
you definitely did. Like I don't like the part that we're iffy on is the mega part. You definitely said Hitler.
I think I did.
Just bring a.
I had like 3 days worth where I was asking Caden realistically, I didn't even name myself, but I said if someone wanted to play evil, could they do this? And Caden be like, "No." I'm like, "Okay, what about this?" "No." "What about this?" "No." So I don't know, it just felt very uninclusive towards all the evil people out there.
There were like three maybes that you got.
That is
I'm
true.
not gonna
You
listen
gave
to this
me
no slander.
3's pushing it. I think there were 2.
I hit you
And I
with a
can't even
maybe
remember.
leading.
I think one of my things was, okay, what if I quote unquote accidentally poisoned the water well and miraculously I was the only one with the cure? I think that one you hit me with a maybe.
Yeah, well, because that doesn't kill anybody. The biggest things were
But
like you were
then
like, what if I set up traps in the alleys, like bear traps and stuff?
yeah, why can't I?
Well, because in my head, I'm like, oh, eventually, one of the villagers is gonna be like, "Oh, this man is leaving bear traps in the alleyways," and then the adventurers are gonna be like, "We're gonna find this guy." And how am
Yeah,
I supposed to do that
yeah.
if you're the guy?
No, I would help them find that guy.
Oh
But
my
it
gosh.
might you gotta crack a few omelets to make an egg.
It's
Jackson's playing
junk.
the Danganronpa twist villain who acts like he's part of the crew until he's dramatically revealed to be the villain, where
The
he has a
ultimate
180
imposter.
personality shift.
So
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
that's why I didn't join, because Caden just wouldn't let me be evil.
Well, yeah, now I can advertise because I know some people who listen to this aren't in the game, who are in our group, in our circle.
Oh
And
snap.
to you I say,
He's calling you out.
uh I am still letting people in. That's another fun part about the Westmarch is you can join whenever you want. And hey, if
Can
you
I
don't have the
join
commitment,
November
but you
29th?
want what day is that?
November 29th.
Yeah, but like
Why are we talking about November 29th all of a sudden?
November 29th is a Saturday. There probably won't be a Westmarch that day, but the 30th.
Because I'm pretty sure Caden had said I'll let anyone join except in December.
Well, December is like the final month of the game. Like absolute like that it'll end in that month. So if you want to come only for the final sessions, go ahead. But the big thing is like if you want to come to even one game, if you're even like remotely interested, or if any of this sounded fun and you kind of want to see what's up, just make a character with me, show up, and if you hate it, you never have to come back again. You can just be like, well, that was enough. I don't need to
But
play that
apparently you
again.
can't sabotage the city.
Yep, you can't sabotage the town
I don't
because if you
know.
do
I just
that,
think it
everyone
could
will want to kill you.
I'm just saying as I could make some good heroes out of people.
Like the Joker.
No,
Like,
the Jinkler.
I need my Batman.
Bro's standing there and it's just everything I do so you can become stepping stones for hope.
Nagi,
Yeah.
bro. I've been playing too much Danganronpa. But yeah,
But
we're at about 55 minutes, so we're kind of getting close. So I kind of cut you off on a lot of areas. We got about 10 minutes left. If you guys have any other like funny stories, or if you wanted to say anything else about the West March, I guess in general.
I think I'm trying to think of what one of my favorite memories of the game so far has been as the DM. Um, and it's really hard because there have been a lot of really good moments. I am struggling to think. I think I had a lot of fun, and if Peyton is watching this, I feel bad. Uh, but there was, I think, one of my favorite moments was he was at the center of it, which is where his character, who's like an experienced fencer, kept trying to kill the same single goblin during like the fight against the Troll King, and for 4 rounds of combat could not get them. Like it started when he fell into a hole, and then the guy he climbed up the wall to like he climbed up the hole to get to the goblin, who then kicked him back down because he was readying an action. He climbed back up the hole again, missed his attacks, got to another turn and missed his attacks again, and I felt so bad because everyone's fighting the boss and having fun, and then I look at Peyton and he did not look like he was having a good time.
Dude, that's diabolical.
But it was kind of funny. And I wasn't laughing at Peyton. I was laughing at the absolute ridiculousness of like having that many misses. That's a moment I'll probably never forget, just because it was that one goblin. causing so much trouble. And I'm pretty sure Peyton didn't even kill it. It was other
No.
Caden. It was other Caden
No,
shooting it with a bolt of fire from
bro,
across the room.
that is stolen valor. That was Peyton's goblin to kill, and he took it from him.
It was pretty brutal. Other than that, I think the entire escape sequence in the water temple was really cool. The one where Connor died.
Water temple.
Yeah, it was the Temple of Droplets. It was like an ancient water god's temple, and it started to fall apart. But they were fighting ghosts there. That was really stressful. I was scared I was gonna kill Laura, and she was brand new to the game, and I was like, I don't want to murder Laura here.
She spends hours making a new character, all excited for her first
Well, I
D&D
also think
venture.
that session was like the first week after people got minis made, and hers was one of the minis. So I was like, please don't kill this person after they get a mini made, dude.
Do you make the minis for everyone, or
Yes.
do you 3D print new ones, or do you let people pick from old ones, or what's that whole
So
scenario?
I did a round of printing minis where I basically said, hey, here's round one of the mini prints. If you want your mini printed, react yes to this post and send me the file. They sent me their files on Hero Forge, which is a site to make minis. And then I just print them myself, paint them, and it's like $15, which is way cheaper than buying them and shipping them and doing all that. It's actually a pretty good deal.
Mm-hmm.
But if they didn't want to do that, I have a box of minis that I use as presets. And I try to make it so the same person gets the same mini over and over again. If Rob and Megan are ever at the same game, we might have trouble because I think they use the same template mini, like the same.
It'll be fine. It's just a stand-in.
Yeah, it's a
Just
thing
a
that
stand-in. I can literally be what I could bring. I'll bring a Lego guy if that ever happens. I'll say
Bro
Physical
has
Megan's
the
my
Lego, dude.
guy.
reality stone. Reality can be whatever I want.
Facts.
But yeah, no, it's been a good time. I'm running the Westmarch for another half year. We're pretty much halfway done with it,
Mhm.
and you know, I I have some stuff to consider for the next weekend. Like
Are you
Cameron.
able to give a small teaser of maybe something that's to come?
Uh, yes, I
A
can.
podcast exclusive bit of info?
Bro's asking for a
I
MCU
definitely can.
post-credit scene.
Yeah, a post credit scene.
The things that are coming after the dragon fight in the desert are things that should very well be dreaded and things that should have been left alone.
Oh my gosh,
Should have because they've already been set in motion.
you have ice in your game?
that is
Actual logical conclusion.
that is what I can give. What comes after the dragon of the desert is something that should have been left well enough alone.
Oh snap! I have no idea what that means, but everyone else,
Oh, the people that do know are gonna be shaking in their boots.
shiver me timbers.
I hope you guys know what that means, because I don't.
You don't?
No, I've got no idea.
Rob, you should the next session. You should
Let me
just
let me let
tell
me
the
actually give
other
them. Let
players.
me give
You should just
a.
tell the
Let
other
me
players that info, and they're gonna be
let me
like,
give
"Where did
another
you learn that?"
another thing
You're like,
actually.
"My
Uh,
BlackBerry."
less of a oh what's to come, but maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea for the players to start exploring the underground a bit more. After all, they discovered it and then they've not wanted to go there because it has scared them sufficiently. But it might not be a bad idea to go there before it comes to you.
Don't be tripping, Caden. You're just mad that you wrote all the shit for that. We never went there.
Yeah, he's just
Nah,
salty.
it's there's the people that know they've already done stuff down there. They've already started. I think it's only 4 people who know. I think Cameron's one of them too, because he's gonna watch this and he's gonna be like, I hate Caden, dude.
Something else quick. Um, for my own curiosity, do you have like a lore book?
Okay, so every time something new happens, I write it in my notebook, and then I go after the session and put it in a Google Doc. So I just have this like ass Google Doc of like a bunch of information that I collect as the game happens.
But
That's how I
it's not
learned.
it's not like organized or neatly.
No, no, like a random bit of lore, I guess, is like other Caden bought a boat, and the boat captain's name is Yashua, and Yashua's kind of a crazy old guy who, like, speaks very sporadically, calls other Caden like boy or youngin, but then he also refers to him as father because other Caden's character is a priest. So whenever he's talking about church, Joshua's like, "Okay, father, I'll be at service," and then any time he's like, "Boy, you need to know how to drive the boat." So it's just a crazy guy. Recently, Laura casted Awaken on a badger, and that badger is now has human sentience and can speak. And I have to figure out what that's.
Oh my gosh. Does the badger even want this, or does it like its life before being able to think?
Uh, it was her pet badger. And it definitely is down for it. It's Prickle the badger. Who was her pet and is now an awakened pet. I think I'm gonna Disneyfy, make it all Disney. It's happy to be alive. It loves its friends.
Can you do that
Um,
scene? I think it's from The Last of Us. Where's that little bunny?
oh God.
You're a
Be like,
terrible
be
person.
like, hey Laura, it's your brand new badger, and then one of the townspeople who's the hunter, be like,
Oh,
oh, food.
I think I'd get murdered. I think the table would come for me with knives in
I'm just
hand
saying
and
that's the
take.
shock value you need, though.
I already
I think you should come to me with some DM ideas. I think I could spice
I
things up for you.
I've done my fair share of brutalizing. Hunter Hunter is the Hunter has a child that lives with him because their parents got orphaned, and
Okay.
he adopted them in game.
That's like the evil mayor guy.
No, no, he's actually he's doing a very good job with it. He's being a nice man. It was originally a young boy that he was like giving an apprenticeship because his character's like a blacksmith and a noble.
Uh
And then during the session where the goblins attacked, he went to go and try and check to see if his apprentice was okay.
hmm
And he found the house like burning, and the young boy's mom died, and his dad looked at Hunter and said like, "I need you to take care of him." And then his dad died too. And Hunter was like, "This is so sad." And I was like, "Yeah,
I
that's what
honestly,
happens,
hearing
baby."
that, I realistically would have thought Hunter would have been like, "Dang, that really sucks for you, kid," and then just walked out.
No, Hunter's character really liked that kid, so he's like, I'm gonna take care of you. I'm gonna make sure you live a good life." It was Hunter's character being a good man.
A good man, Martha Organ.
I sure do hope that nothing horribly violent happens
Oh
to
my
him.
gosh. All right. Well, we are at about time. Do either of you have any last things you want to say before we call it?
Dream I'm Never Paying My Taxes by Chris Adam.
Also, if you have never played D&D but want to, go try it. It's a fun hobby.
Eh-eh. Incorrect.
He's
It's
lying.
it's all right. Well, if that's everything, I guess thank you for watching. If you've made it this far, you've got some sneak peeks as to what's next in the Westmarch. I'm sure if we keep this up at some point in December, we'll probably have a follow up episode where Caden can maybe reveal some more stuff, maybe some hidden plot lines that never even got explored and stuff.
Now that'd be fun, because I think we're already online to have a few of those.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye.